that infamous dragging incident, facing demands they treat passengers better. Guilty plea from a white police officer caught on camera shooting a black motorist in the back. Tonight, a deal that could result in little or no time in prison. Racist taunts at the ballpark. Controversy as a Major League Baseball star says he faced a barrage of slurs from fans. Knee replacements necessary? Surprising research about one of the most popular surgeries in America. Should more people be opting for a less invasive and less expensive treatment? And from the heart, new reaction to Jimmy Kimmel's emotional story about his newborn son. Nightly News begins right now.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good evening. It seems hardly a week goes by without another viral video reminding us of what an emotional pressure cooker airplane cabins have become lately. The latest, an all-out brawl among passengers aboard a California-bound jet. The shocking video making the rounds on the same day U.S. airline executives were hauled before Congress to explain the behavior of their employees, as well as airline practices that generate a lot of passenger resentment. NBC's Tom Costello has details.
It was an all-out brawl as passengers boarded an LA-bound flight in Tokyo.
Someone help! This guy's crazy!
The man in red exchanging punches with another passenger. The suspect, described as an American, allegedly intoxicated, was arrested and charged with assault before the flight ever took off.
I said that this is crazy, and then that kind of triggered him. He said, "You think this is crazy? The government is crazy." He's like, "The government ruined my life."
Out Upon Airways apologized, saying the suspect was incoherent and physically violent and aggressive to other passengers.
Oh my God.
The incident coming after a string of viral videos that cast a black eye on the entire airline industry. Today, members of Congress told a panel of airline execs much of the country is fed up.
So to you, they may be your customers. To us, they are constituents.
Both American and United Airlines promising significant changes in customer service.
Our actions will speak definitely longer than our words. We will do better.
Consumer advocates say among the problems, more flyers and less competition. Over the last 12 years, mega mergers have dramatically cut the number of big carriers from 8 to just 4. Meanwhile, it's the flight attendants who are very often left trying to keep the peace.
That's what we're doing every single day, is de-escalating issues between passengers so that we don't have a really big problem in the air.
And we're all sitting closer together.
We're all sitting closer together, packed in like never before.
You don't want to tell us. Back in Congress, a threat. If the airlines don't improve their customer service, Congress could impose tough new customer service laws.
Seize this opportunity, because if you don't, we're going to come, and you're not going to like it.
A not-so-veiled warning there. Most members of Congress would prefer the airlines fix this on their own without congressional involvement. But Lester, tonight, patience on Capitol Hill is wearing thin.
Tom Costello, thank you. In South Carolina, a former Charleston police officer who was charged in the videotaped shooting death of an unarmed, fleeing man entered a surprise guilty plea in federal court today. Michael Slager, whose state trial on the death of Walter Scott ended without a verdict, accepted a plea deal on lesser federal charges, potentially meaning less prison time. Gabe Gutierrez has that story.
2 years after the dramatic cell phone video shocked the nation, today former North Charleston police officer Michael Slager pleaded guilty to a federal charge of using excessive force.
Michael Slager admitted what he did.
The family of Walter Scott cried as the plea was read in court. The defendant used deadly force, even though it was objectively unreasonable under the circumstances. Scott was shot 5 times in the back in April of 2015 as he ran from a traffic stop. In a written statement, Slager's defense team said, "We hope that Michael's acceptance of responsibility will help the Scott family as they continue to grieve their loss." Slager's federal trial had been scheduled to start in a few days. He'd face civil rights charges, lying to investigators, and using a firearm in a violent crime. Even with this plea, he still faces life in prison, but could get much less.
The victory was him admitting that he did wrong.
Last year, Slager went to trial on state murder charges. He told the court he was in total fear for his life when Scott grabbed his stun gun during a struggle.
In my mind at that time, people don't run from a broken tail light.
jurors could not reach a verdict, and prosecutors vowed to retry the case. But they've agreed to drop those state charges as part of today's plea agreement.
I think that most of us believe if they tried that case again, the best they could hope for was a hung jury.
Although some activists may feel frustrated that Slager won't face a new murder trial, for the Scott family, they feel the biggest victory was the admission they had waited for. Michael Slager was led from the courtroom here in handcuffs right in front of the Scott family. Sentencing is now expected within the next few months, and then it'll be up to a judge to decide how much time Slager will spend in prison. Lester.
All right, Gabe Gutierrez, thank you. There's late news tonight about a fatal police shooting captured on camera that sparked outrage and protests in Baton Rouge. The death of Alton Sterling, shot while being pinned down on the ground. There's new concern in that city amid word that the Justice Department has decided not to charge the officers involved. Our Justice correspondent Pete Williams is in our Washington newsroom with details. Pete, what can you tell us about this?
Well, Lester, several sources familiar with this case say that career Justice Department prosecutors have concluded that there isn't enough evidence to bring federal civil rights charges. This incident was caught on video and touched off days of protest. The police said they were responding to a complaint that a man with a gun was threatening people outside a convenience store. Video showed Alton Sterling on his back. The police officers say they thought he was reaching for a gun. They said they found one in his back pocket. Those officers have been on leave. The city's been bracing for a decision, but bringing federal charges in a case like this is notoriously difficult because the law requires proving intentional wrongdoing. For example, the Justice Department concluded that it couldn't bring charges in the 2014 shooting in Ferguson, Missouri of an unarmed man, Lester.
All right, Pete Williams, thank you. To politics now, and President Trump lashing out after the bipartisan spending agreement was forged, avoiding a government shutdown. With both the White House and Democrats claiming victory, the president suggested a shutdown may be exactly what Washington needs. Also today, Republicans are facing new obstacles in the push to replace Obamacare. NBC's Peter Alexander has more.
President Trump today venting his frustration on Twitter, arguing the government needs a good shutdown in September to fix Washington's mess. The president clearly upset at the perception Democrats got the better end of a budget compromise that avoids a government shutdown.
After years of partisan bickering and gridlock, this bill is a clear win for the American people.
Mr. Trump trying to recover a political victory from that spending agreement.
And we didn't do any touting like the Democrats did, by the way.
But taking heat for suggesting the solution is a shutdown.
How does the president define a good shutdown?
If you wanted to imagine what a good shutdown was, it would be one that fixes this town.
In the last shutdown, 800,000 federal employees were indefinitely furloughed. Another 1.3 million were required to work without knowing when they would get paid.
Right.
So is that a good shutdown that fixes Washington?
Back to your point, every single one of those folks got paid. Right.
With conservative critics also attacking the deal, the White House deploying 2 top cabinet officials to boast about presidential promises kept, like more money for defense and border security.
We are building this. Okay? We are taking their taxpayer money to build this.
The bitter back and forth as House Republicans appear on the verge of another failure for their health care plan, with more Republicans defecting. Missouri Congressman Billy Long backs Trump, but not the bill.
Just because pre-existing conditions would be covered doesn't mean they can't price you out of the market.
Oh, it's actually got some steam coming off of it now.
In Arizona, breast cancer survivor Tony Bannister worries her pre-existing condition will impact her family's coverage.
It's not just me. It's my entire family. It's my sons. It's my future grandchildren. It's all of that.
And tonight, word of a possible Russian rendezvous after a high-stakes call between Presidents Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump. The White House tonight confirms the leaders will try to schedule what would be their first face-to-face meeting to take place in Germany this July. Lester?
Peter Alexander at the White House. Thanks, Peter. Back in the spotlight today, Hillary Clinton opening up about her election defeat at an event here in New York. The former presidential candidate blaming her loss on both the FBI and Russia, and asserting that if the election were held about 2 weeks earlier, she'd be in the Oval Office now. We get more from NBC's Andrea Mitchell.
Tonight, Hillary Clinton not holding back.
I'm now back to being an activist citizen and part of the resistance.
Her most frank comments yet about losing the election, blaming not herself but FBI Director James Comey, WikiLeaks, and Vladimir Putin.
Every day that goes by, we learn more about some of the unprecedented interference, including from a foreign power whose leader is not a member of my fan club.
She says it was not a perfect campaign, but no mention of her failure to go to Wisconsin, to campaign earlier in Michigan, connect with Rust Belt voters in Pennsylvania, all blue states that went for Donald Trump, or why the first female nominee could not win a majority of white college-educated women.
I was on the way to winning until the combination of Jim Comey's letter on October 28th and Russian WikiLeaks raised doubts in the minds of people who were inclined to vote for me but got scared off.
Clinton's explanation that WikiLeaks' dump of her campaign manager's emails timed to distract from the Access Hollywood tape.
Within an hour or two of the Hollywood Access tape being made public, the Russian theft of John Podesta's emails hit WikiLeaks. What a coincidence.
What about her responsibility for failing to have a better message?
Did I make mistakes? Oh my gosh, yes. But the reason why I believe we lost were the intervening events in the last 10 days.
Even some of Clinton's former campaign aides say she is not really confronting her own political failings for what they acknowledge was a devastating loss from which she has not fully recovered. Lester?
Andrea Mitchell, thank you. Now to fears of a flood emergency in Missouri. Residents being evacuated amid a race to keep the water from rushing into towns with more rough weather and rain on the way. NBC's Blake McCoy takes us inside the flood zone tonight.
With swelling rivers outside St. Louis tonight nearing record flood levels, hundreds of volunteers are filling sandbags, a frantic effort to protect homes and businesses, like Jill Umbarger's bakery.
It's a little overwhelming. I'm actually speechless.
High schoolers in Eureka, Missouri join the effort. Classes have been canceled. The campus only accessible by boat. Further up the Merrimack River in Valley Park, mandatory evacuations.
It's nerve-wracking. You don't know if you're going to come home to a home or not.
For now, the town's levee is holding, but more rain is on the way.
The next round of heavy rain arrives tomorrow morning and lasts through the Midwest until early afternoon on Thursday. We'll see a widespread 1 to 4 inches of rain with isolated amounts of 5 inches or more.
Tonight, with waters rising, communities in Arkansas and Missouri are bracing for agonizing days ahead. Blake McCoy, NBC News.
In Boston tonight, an investigation is underway into an alleged incident at the famous Fenway Park, where a player on the visiting Baltimore Orioles says Red Sox fans hurled racial slurs at him during last night's game. We get more on this from NBC's Ron Allen.
In the air, left center field. That's curving away from Jones. Adam back. Another great catch.
Baltimore Orioles all-star center fielder Adam Jones says he was hearing it from the Red Sox fans all night. Here he is outside the dugout, Jones jawing with the crowd. Later, saying someone had just thrown a peanut bag at him and that he'd been called the N-word several times.
It was really stupid and ignorant, so it caught my attention.
Jones said he's heard racist taunts in Boston before, but called last night's abuse the worst in his 12-year career. 2 fans ejected for targeting Jones. Overall, a rowdy night with 34 fans told to leave. Reactions swift. Red Sox president Sam Kennedy apologizing.
If Adam Jones felt unsafe at any point during last night's game, it's our job to step up and take measures to correct that.
Baseball's commissioner blasting the inexcusable behavior. With the percentage of African-American players down to the single digits, and baseball now celebrating the 70th anniversary of Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier, it's a sport very sensitive about race.
I think they're absolutely more sensitive to this. At a time when they want their game to be more welcoming to young, talented African-American kids.
In the end, the Orioles won 5-2, but Boston police have launched a criminal investigation and now calls by some to ban the offending fans for life. Ron Allen, NBC News.
A lot more to tell you about here tonight. Still ahead, relieving knee pain. If you're one of the millions of sufferers in the U.S., there's some important new information you should know before choosing replacement surgery. Also, the surprise revelation from late-night host Jimmy Kimmel, opening up about the terrifying health scare involving his newborn son.